people. We are Tottenham TV. Premier League predictions are back. The international break is gone and it's time to get stuck in to Tottenham Hotspur once again and the rest of the Premier League. Obviously, we go head-to-head every single week predicting our Premier League scores and results. At the moment, it's 17 points to Sim, 31 points to myself, and the way the scoring works is 5 points for a completely correct scoreline, 1 point for a correct result, and we do pick a star man at the end of each episode, and it's 5 points for a goal, 2 points for an assist, and you can't pick them again once you have. So, first game, Ange Postecoglou is back in the Premier League with Nottingham Forest. Sim has gone for him to pick up a point at the Emirates, as he did first time he went there with Tottenham.
Yeah, I just feel like it's his first game, a bit of new energy for Nottingham Forest. The players, I've been listening to a few of their interviews, they sound very excited about Ange being there. So I don't know. I don't know if they'll get lucky. I feel like they probably will. Maybe Arsenal miss a few chances and Forest just kind of get a couple of lucky goals. I just got a feeling they're going to shithouse a 2-2 here and they're going to come away. Arsenal are going to end a bit frustrated. I also haven't been that impressed with Arsenal so far. I know it's two tough games, but, away United, they weren't that impressive then when they won. Away at Arsenal, away at Liverpool, they weren't that impressive either. It was a narrow loss, but they weren't that impressive. I know they beat Leeds 5-0. So I don't know if they're playing that well at the moment. Obviously, Saka, is he going to be out?
Apparently he's back, but I don't know.
I don't know if he's back. I don't know if he's going to be fully fit, whatever. We'll see about him. He could be missing. They got good players, obviously, to replace, but I just got a feeling. It's not much like, it's more feeling than logic in this one. I just got a feeling they're going to get a 2-2 draw.
Yeah, I just feel like it's more change than probably what Forest want in this game. It's like going from completely conflicting styles. To be honest, I don't think Ange is going to go full on Ange ball in this game. I don't think you can't implement that in a few days, surely. Like, you need a pre-season, you need at least a few weeks on the training ground to do that. So I think they will play more the kind of way that they have been playing over the past year. However, I just think Arsenal are going to be a bit too strong. I think Forest, they've looked okay. They looked decent this season. Obviously, last time out 3-0 away loss to West Ham, and the players are probably going to want to prove a point after that game. But I feel like Arsenal at home, their defensive record, I think Forest are going to find it hard to break them down, and I think Arsenal will pick them off a couple of times. So I don't think it's going to be a great game of football, but I think, probably quality will tell in this game, particularly at the Emirates. So I've gone for 2-0 to Arsenal. But look, there are those Ange comments in the press conference to talk
Just
about.
did it, yeah.
Seems a bit bitter, doesn't he?
Yeah, he said he was asked about what it's going to be like replacing Nuno with the job he's done at Forest, and he said, well, you never know when the end's coming. I didn't expect the end to come for me after winning a trophy, but that's how football goes. And I was like, okay. And then he was also asked about his sacking. He said it wasn't great. He said he knew about it before the final, which is interesting if that's true. But he said he knew about it before the final, but there's not a Tottenham fan that he bumps into who doesn't want to give him a big hug and want to buy him dinner. So he said he must have done something right. So a couple of shots at Spurs. He also said it's great to be under a president who matches his ambition with action, which I don't know if is a shot at Tottenham or not, but you can definitely construe it that way. Is it were Tottenham's ambitions not matched with their action? Is that what he's saying? Because he definitely made a point of that.
Look, but I think it's true. Like, you look at when Ange came into Spurs, he was probably he made it very evident that he wanted to go for the league title. That was his end goal. And the first transfer window, fair enough, he got some good players to replenish the squad with. But his second transfer window, he just got a bunch of kids. And his second season was supposed to be the season where I'm going to go for that league title. However ambitious and unrealistic it is, that's fair enough. But if that is your goal, you need to be given the tools. And he was given a bunch of kids. That's the reality. So I think that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, exactly. So definitely maybe a couple of parting shots. And what did you believe him when he says he knew about the sacking before the final? Because they waited so long to sack him.
Yeah, first of all, I think they waited so long to sack him because of the reaction at the parade and everything like that. Maybe they weren't even expecting Ange to go win that trophy. But I don't think he knew, Maybe got a feeling. Yeah, exactly. I don't think basically they told him outright, look, after the final, you're gone. I think that he got an inkling, he knew probably discussions were happening behind closed doors, and he knew as well that probably they were putting the feelers out for new managers and this kind of stuff.
And he was probably going to the club like, all right, let's start planning for next season. They were like, let's just wait and see.
Yeah, exactly. And as well, he did make a few comments in press conferences prior to the final, being like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be here next year and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I don't think he fully knew, but he definitely had a feeling.
But he definitely wanted, he clearly obviously wanted to stay.
Of course he wanted to stay.
And we know he did that, third season 3 is always better than season 2 comment in the parade.
They couldn't sack him the day after the parade. It just wasn't possible. They couldn't have done that.
Yeah, and he also, what else did he say? He said, he was just made, obviously in the press conference, but he was also making a few comments about when, I think in the press conference after he won it, before the Brighton game, they asked him about his future, didn't he? And he was like, I can't even believe this is being discussed after I just won the trophy, breaking their drought in 17 years, all that kind of stuff. So he was really hammering home the idea, it's ridiculous to sack me, basically, wasn't he? And then he's just said now in the press conference, I shouldn't have been sacked after winning that trophy, but that's how football goes. So another manager who's got a bit of feeling, probably against Tottenham. Mourinho never misses an opportunity to say that he was sacked just before the final. He said, didn't he, famously, I've got a close connection with all my previous clubs except for Tottenham. So that's one manager who's got a bit of feeling as well.
I think I hate to say he's gone now, but it all comes back to Daniel Levy. It's Daniel Levy, the way he treats people. As much as Ange, for me, I was saying all the way through the season, he deserves a sack, he deserves a sack, he deserves a sack. But even when it came to it, when he won that trophy, I said he deserved to stay. I do think we're better off for it now, and I do think we got a better manager in. But after winning that trophy, he probably did deserve to stay. And looking at it from his perspective, all the shit he had to go through all season, and to end it in a positive way. Jose Mourinho, sacked a few days before a cup final. Martin Jol, sacked at half-time. Conte, not getting the tools that he wanted, and obviously it all imploded. All these managers, they all have the right to point back at Levy every single time.
I'm trying to imagine how many more jibes we're going to have at Levy throughout the season from Ange. We'll have to wait and see. But it's going to be interesting to see his press conferences. They're back in the Premier League. Ange is
Box
back.
office, man.
Look, whatever you want to say about Ange, I always look forward to his press conferences when he was starting the manager. It was always interesting stuff he said.
The thing is, with me and Ange, I always go through the week saying, this guy can't be Spurs manager, we need to move on, he needs to be sacked. Then I'd watch him in the press conference and I'll be like, all right, let's fucking go this weekend. And then the game would happen, and I'd be, all right, he's got to go. And then it was this whole kind of revolving thing that just drove me up the wall.
Week to week, you're right now, you're like, oh, you know what, we're better off without him. Then we're going to hear him speak we should have kept him. We should have bloody kept him.
Pretty much.
Then they're going to lose on the weekend. It's I knew it, we're better off without Frank.
He's such a great talker, man.
Yeah.
He is such a great talker, and he's probably the best salesman in the game. Literally, if you hear him speak, you just want to. You want to support him. You want to run through brick walls for him. He's a great salesman.
At the end of the day, he's not just a salesman. There's proofs in the pudding. His record speaks for itself.
Yeah, let's see what he does at Forest now.
He's got 21 trophies.
Yeah,
that's just what he's won.
Yeah, he's had a great career in terms of winning trophies. But I just feel like the game has evolved past managers like him, to be honest. And I think you do need more of kind of adaptable manager like a Thomas Frank.
Mate,
I think all the top managers are like that now.
I think he needs, more detail oriented. That's the difference. Frank is in it with the details. Yeah. And I don't know, maybe
that's where the game is now.
Yeah, Ange, I don't know if it's him himself or maybe he needs his team as well. But
it's
he needs to be more
detailed. It's the first time he's actually brought a team with him.
True. So maybe they've learned from their experience. We'll see. It's going to be very interesting, this Arsenal game.
Yeah, but back on, just on that comment quickly that I didn't talk about, was the fans always just want to hug him and all that kind of stuff. That's fair. Why wouldn't they want to hug him? The guy's a Tottenham legend. As much as fans wanted him out, that's by the by. At the end of the day, he ends up with a European trophy. He's going to be a Tottenham legend. Whether you wanted him out or you wanted him to stay, even the guys that wanted him out, including myself and including many other people, still call him a Tottenham legend.
Do you want to hug one day Ramos?
I would hug one day Ramos. Why not?
It's just different, though, isn't it? I don't think he's got the same kind of I don't know.
It's very different, though, winning a Carabao Cup to winning a European trophy.
It but still, it is a trophy, and just trophy. But I'm just saying, just winning it alone, I guess.
European trophy is very significant. There's only 3 managers that have won a European trophy in our history, and that's Keith Birkinshaw, Bill Nicholson, and now Ange Postecoglou. Those two of the former managers, Bill Nicholson and Keith Birkinshaw, are the greatest 2 managers in our history. You know what I mean? So, like, managers that have won the League Cup for us, George Graham, Juan de Ramos in recent
Don't be
times.
hugging them.
Exactly. So, European trophy is significant. Carabao Cup, as much as it's great to win, I don't think it's as significant.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's Ange Postecoglou. He is back in the Premier League. And I think someone here might have a second team now. But let's move on to our next prediction. Oh, by the way, yeah, so 2-0, 2-2. Bournemouth against Brighton. We've both gone for the same scoreline here in 2-2. I think it's 2 teams on form going head-to-head. Obviously, Brighton just beat Man City. Bournemouth just beat Tottenham. So both of them going to go into it fancying their chances. I'm liking that it's going to be free-flowing, attacking football, 2 teams going at each other. And I just couldn't split them, to be honest. I think both of them will really fancy it.
Yeah, interesting enough, Brighton actually did the double over Bournemouth last season, 2-1. In both games, but I think both of them have had interesting summers, quite a bit of change, especially for Bournemouth. They look very good against Tottenham, I have to say. I couldn't split them. I think it's going to be entertaining. And obviously Brighton beat City as well. Yeah, I think it's going to be, and there's 2 very smart teams doing things the right way, play football the right way. I think these 2 teams are the biggest kind of evidence of how you can progress your club on a budget, but while playing attacking football, not having to rely on sitting back and backs against the wall. Like smart recruitment, smart appointments in manager, and I think Bournemouth are the perfect. Maybe like Marinakis is looking at Bournemouth thinking, they had Gary O'Neill and he saved them from relegation. He did a great job, but they didn't settle for that. They went, all right, well, let's upgrade. Let's go for it all. Let's start pushing about, and look what they've turned into. So I think both of these clubs are unbelievable examples. But anyway, regardless of that, couldn't split them, so I went 2-2.
Palace against Sunderland. Sim's gone for 1-0. I've gone for 2-0. Yeah, look, I think Palace under Glasner, great team. I think they are struggling a bit in the forward line. I think they got some injuries. Sarr's out injured, and I think someone else out injured as well. I can't remember who.
Well, Eze's gone, but
I think they had another injury in the forward line.
Oh, Pino,
that was it. Yeah, so he's injured as well. So they are lacking a bit of firepower. However, I still think at home, really strong team at Selhurst Park. I think they'll do the business against Sunderland, who have started the season really well, to be fair to them.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a bit of a tight game. I don't see Palace running rings around them. I think they're going to be the better team, but I think Sunderland have had a fairly confident start, a couple of wins. I don't think they've blown anyone away, but they've been decent. Good wins against West Ham, and it was another promoted team. Well, no, Brentford. Maybe West Ham and Brentford. In fairly decent fashion. It wasn't like they were unbelievable, but they got the wins. And I think they'll go into this in confident mood. They can get something, but I just think I can see them struggling to score, and I think they're just going to get edged out. I think Mateta will just get a bit. I think he'll just find a moment, maybe a penalty.
I think
and they'll win.
Come into play as well.
Yeah, so I think I just went for the 1-0.
Everton against Villa. Contrasting starts to the season, these lot. Everton have started the season really well. Villa, I don't think they've scored a goal yet, have they?
Have not scored a goal.
Really poor start to the season from Aston Villa, and it looks like it's not all happy camp over there at Villa Park. And I think going to this new Everton stadium is going to be tough for anyone, particularly a team that are a bit low on confidence at this moment in time. So I've gone for 2-0. I think Everton are going to shut them out. They've got a good defence, and now they've got magic men up front. You look at Jack Grealish, started the season on fire. Dewsbury Hall has started off really well. So I think 2-0 Everton.
Yeah, I think being at home, I think is going to give Everton a little bit of a boost. They're playing with confidence at the moment. Grealish is running rings. I just think, how many games can Villa go out scoring? They must score at some point, surely. They got enough firepower.
They've got a good run coming.
They got Rodgers, they got Watkins. They're going to start. They'll have to score at some point. I've gone for them to score, but I just think the confidence Everton are coming in with it, and as well, the way Everton play, I think is going to be quite suited to playing this Villa side. So I went for a 2-1 win to Everton.
Fulham against Leeds. Sim's gone for 1-0 to Fulham here.
Yeah, I don't think Fulham have been amazing so far, although they were unlucky against Chelsea. Leeds have actually been surprisingly quite resolute.
United as well, Fulham.
They drew with United. I think they were second best first half and then the better side second half. So I went for a 1-0. I just don't see Fulham with lots of firepower this season. I'm looking at their front line.
Who have they lost?
But who do they have?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But they always seem to find ways, though, don't they?
I know, but Jimenez has been off the ball for a while. Muniz, there was rumours of him leaving. They still have them, but I just don't think they're like incredible. They're just average players, like average strikers at the moment. I'm not saying they got bad players, but they haven't improved, have they? They haven't signed anyone this summer. So, if you're not moving forward, you're stagnating. If you're stagnating, you're moving backwards. I feel like that might be the kind of how
make
Fulham.
one signing this summer.
I don't know how many. Not in the forward line, if off the top of my head. They nearly sold Wilson. He stayed in the end. But I do think that they're good enough, like tactically, where they're going to be shutting out Leeds in this game, and Leeds are going to struggle to create chances. So I went for a 1-0, maybe a deflected Iwobi goal.
Yeah, I think Silva always seems to find a way, albeit it is kind of in these games sometimes that they struggle. And I think Leeds will come to Craven Cottage and probably fancy their chances a little bit. I think Leeds haven't been bad so far in the Premier League campaign. And but I think Fulham are just going to edge it. Marco Silva is a very clever manager, and he does seem to get the best out of what he's got at his disposal. So I'm going to go 2-1 to Fulham.
To be fair, they did sign on deadline day. They got Chukwueze and Kevin. So we'll see about how good these guys are. Yeah, to be fair, they did get on deadline day. They got them.
And Sessegnon has been decent since coming back.
Sessegnon's been all right.
So yeah, I've gone 2-1. Sim's gone 1-0. Newcastle against Wolves. Both of us gone for 3-0. Wolves have been the poorest side in the Premier League so far. Both gone for 3-0. I think Newcastle are going to romp it. First, game at St James's Park. And how can you look anywhere but Newcastle? Got firepower up there, and now with the two strikers that they signed, Gordon still going to be suspended. But you can't look anything but a convincing Newcastle win. Yeah,
with Voltmader and Whistle, it's going to be very interesting to see how they get on in their first game. But Wolves is like the perfect opponent, isn't it? A team down on confidence, not great quality. If there's one team you want them to be making their debut against, it's probably this one. You've still got Alanga, they got Barnes as well in that front line. So they're going to be confident off the back of, it was a poor result against Leeds, but before that, good performance against Liverpool. I think they're going to want to really get their season up and running, Newcastle, so I think this is the perfect opportunity. So 3-0.
Yeah, West Ham, Tottenham. I've gone for 3-1 to Tottenham. What have you gone for?
I have gone for 3-1 to Tottenham.
Yeah, so I think, look, it's going to be an interesting game, isn't it? Mohamed Kudus going back to his old club. I think he's going into the Lions Den a little bit in this one after the comments that he's made. Like, going from West Ham to Tottenham is enough to stoke the fires at the best of times, but then he's made those comments as well upon signing for Spurs. So, yeah, it's going to be a fiery atmosphere. But I've got a feeling Kudus is going to kind of thrive under that kind of situation. I feel just one goal. If we can get one goal early doors, I think the floodgates could open a little bit. And I think West Ham will come into it with belief after the 3-0 win against Nottingham Forest, but I think they're very fragile. So I think one goal could really hurt them. Yeah,
and I'm hoping this is a game where quality shines through. Sometimes in these games, the derby, like the kind of fact that it's a derby, kind of overrides the result, and not always a better team wins. But hopefully with Simons, Mawani making their debuts, it's going to be that little bit of added quality, that little bit of added effectiveness in the final third that we need. Kudus making his return is going to add a little bit of spice to the occasion. I'm just hoping quality shines through in the end, so I've gone for 3-1. But yeah, look, I'm hoping West Ham, off the back of a 3-0 win to Forest against Forest, could they be up in their game here? Bit worried about that.
I think it will start off like that, but it could very quickly turn. Brentford against Chelsea. Sim's gone for 2-0 to Chelsea.
Yeah, I think Brentford, I'm looking at their team, I just don't know where the goals are going to come from. And they got Igor up front, but he's just not, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe set pieces, but Chelsea are strong at set pieces, so I didn't see him scoring here. I don't know. I don't think Palmer's fit yet, but look, Pedro's been doing well. I think Chelsea are just going to have enough to make this a comfortable victory, so I went for 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, Brentford, I was not expecting much from Brentford this season, but I think they've been okay. I know they had a poor result last time out against Sunderland, but, beaten Villa I mean, obviously everyone's beating Villa, but still, for a Brentford side, they scored 2 against Villa, beat them, beat Bournemouth in the Cup as well, lost to Forest first game of the season. So I think they can score. I mean, they're a Premier League side. Anyone can score against anyone at the end of the day. And I think Brentford can find one off a set piece or something. And I do think quality will shine through, though, and I think Chelsea will win the game. But I think it might be a bit of a closer contested game than maybe some people give Brentford credit for. But next up is Burnley against Liverpool. Sim's gone for 3-1 to Liverpool. I've gone for 2-0. Obviously, Liverpool are a bit frail at the back, but I think Burnley, they're going to be parking the bus here. They're going to be, just trying to stop Liverpool in every way that they can. And I think it'll be a bit of a stodgy performance. Liverpool haven't been great, but they've got 3 wins so far. And I think it might be more of the same here, where Liverpool won't, it won't be scintillating stuff, but I think they'll get the job done. Yeah,
I think this should be more comfortable than the other games. I think Burnley are going to give them the initiative, and I think with the players they got, Isaac could be making his debut. We'll see the front. It's going to be very interesting to see what he does, because Ekitike has been in such great form. I think Isaac's in there. It's going to be very interesting. But I actually think Burnley giving for Liverpool the initiative will actually help Liverpool, because they've just got such brilliant technicians. I think they'll be able to unlock the door. So I went for 3-1, but I feel like Burnley might get a goal against run of play.
And last but not least, the Manchester derby this weekend at the Etihad. Manchester City against Manchester United. We've both gone for draws here. Sim's gone for 1-1, and I've gone for 2-2. Yeah, my thinking about, neither of these sides have really impressed. Man City really impressed in the first weekend, but since then they've lost 2 games. Manchester United just, it's just business as usual from last season, to be honest. And I feel like it's in these games, though, which they actually turn up for. So I think they're actually going to play a good game, probably on the counter-attack with Mbeumo. And I think Cunha's injured, so Mbeumo is going to be really important for them in this game. And I can see him getting on the score sheet, but couldn't really pick a winner. I went for 2-2.
I went 1-1. I think City's also coming into this game with bad injury problems. And Mamouche picked up a knee injury. Cherki is obviously out. So the makeup of their front line, we'll have to wait and see. I agree. I think United like these kind of games. They showed last season, even when they were playing badly, they won at the Etihad. They got a draw at Anfield, got a draw at the Emirates in the FA Cup, and won on penalties.
They won the last 2 games at the Etihad.
So they like these games, I think, and I can see it being a bit of a low-scoring one, but I can actually see United having probably the better chances, but maybe failing to put them away. And I think City are going to be frustrated here. So I think United will probably come away with a decent 1-1 result. It's not to say all their problems are over, just getting a result at the Etihad, but I think they'll come away pleased with this result.
Star men. Sim has got... So it's the first time this season we haven't picked a player from the same team. Sim's gone for Florian Wirtz of Liverpool.
He hasn't had a great start, but I reckon it's all going to change in this Burnley game. So I went for 3-1.
You know what? He hasn't had a great start, but I thought the second half against Arsenal, you really started to see him kind of be a lot more comfortable in that Liverpool side.
And I think Burnley are going to struggle to handle him.
Yeah, you're probably right. I've gone for Johan Wissa of Newcastle at home to Wolves. I suspect he will start instead of Voltmader, because he's the one kind of Premier League ready, and they'll probably want to ease Voltmader in a little bit, even though he did cost 85 million. And against a struggling Wolves side, I can see him scoring on his debut. So,
yeah, I had a lot of different players rattling around through my brain, because I was like, I wanted one of him or Voltmader. I didn't know which one was going to start, so I didn't choose either. And then Liverpool, I was like, okay, I want to choose... I want to choose maybe Ekitike, but I don't know if he's going to play up front. Is he going to be on the left? Maybe even on the bench. Isaac, is he going to start? I was like, okay, I'll go for Gakpo. Oh, but it's Gakpo. If he puts Ekitike on the left and puts Isaac up front, maybe he won't. So I was like, all right, Salah. But do I really want to go for Salah right now? Is this the right time to pull the Salah card or not? I was considering it. I was like, you know what? I think Wirtz might be all right. So I went for Wirtz in the end.
Fair play, yeah. It is a risk, Visser, a little bit, because you just don't know which one's going to play. But I'm just thinking, like, in the first game after signing these 2, surely Visser will get the nod, because Voltmader's just not Prem proven. Like, this is the one that's Prem proven, hit the ground running. Even if he comes off the bench, I think he'll get a goal.
True.
You know what I mean?
True.
So I think he'll definitely play some part in the game. So I've gone for Visser. Sim's gone for Wirtz. Let us know your predictions in the comments section below and who your star man is. Play along with us, guys. But that is Prem predictions. We'll see you very soon, guys. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, Spurs.